Hey folks, what's good? Welcome back to the Deron Harris Podcast, episode number 28 today, titled, I Can't Make This Shit Up. And I really can't. Slavery is on the ballot for 5 states. Yep, you heard it right. Slavery is on the ballot for the 2022 midterm elections for Alabama, Louisiana, Oregon, in Tennessee and Vermont. So it's Oregon, Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Vermont. They all have slavery on the ballot this year for the midterm elections. We're going to get into that here in a few minutes. But first, I want to do my mental health check with everybody. How's your mental health, folks? How is it? Are you gauging? Are you with me? Are you still checking it out? Are you still concerned about it? Or have you gone back to your normal everyday life? I'm still concerned with mental health, and I hope everybody's mental health is doing well. But I tell you, after this story or after this subject today, my mental health was kind of, it was fritzing out on me. But, I dialed it back in and was able to make some progress this week. I had my second appointment with the psychiatrist, not my therapist, a actual psychiatrist, and sat with him for about a good 45 minutes and, got more things off my chest, discussed a few more things, got my prescriptions refilled, and So I'm going to see the psychiatrist again in about a good month. But next week, I do have an appointment with my therapist, which I had an appointment with her last week, which actually was pretty good. And got a lot of things off my chest about childhood and parents and, so on and so forth. Just things that have happened to me throughout the course of my life. And was able to sit down and have a really good conversation about it. Get some things off my chest, kind of lighten the load a little bit, and it was okay. Same thing with the psychiatrist this week. It was pretty good. So I feel like I'm making some strides. Sometimes it doesn't really feel like it during the course of the day or during the course of the week, as the rigmarole that is your life or is my life just continues to barrel on down the highway. But I will say that, going to therapy is definitely the way to go. It was the way to go. I couldn't have done this. I couldn't have maintained what was going on in my life at the time. That's why I'm glad that, I was able to come up here and get some treatment. So, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Actually, one shout out this week goes to the cold weather down here in Florida. That's right. It's a little chilly down here. Woke up the other morning and it was a good 38 degrees outside here in North Florida. Very nice. Good on the skin. I'm all 52, about to be 53 this year, and I need all the help with the skin I can get. Don't want it to be all droopy and saggy like some sort of Shar-Pei. Want to keep my boyish good looks, so the cold weather is indeed welcomed. It was a few days. I think it's going to go back up to, by the end of the week, actually, it is the end of the week. Tomorrow, in the next few days, it's supposed to go back up to, 80, 85 or so, which is fine, but lowered humidity, which is great. Good to go out and do some things. We're getting geared up to take our buggy out or down to Orlando for a good 4 or 5 days for a wedding. So the weather being this way definitely is a help. Let's see. Dope Shit Award today. Dope Shit Award this week goes to Commander Nicole Mann. That's right. Commander Nicole Mann gets the Dope Shit Award of this week. And the reason being is not only is she a commander, but she is the first the very first Native American woman in space. That's right, folks. The absolute first Native American woman in space. That's crazy that we're in 2022 and we are just now sending a Native American into outer space. I think that's dope. She is a member of the, I hope that I'm saying this right, Wailaki, W-A-I-L-A-C-K-I, Whale, I don't know. I'm not even going to butcher it up like that. But she's from California, Northern California. She will be in space for a while, though. She's on her way to the International Space Station, which she will be boarding, and she will be there until March. So definitely congratulations, Nicole, man, for setting the tone for our future of equality. So what am I listening to this week? I'm actually listening to nothing. I've been listening to a lot of old school music. Last week, Sade was the earbuds because she's got some new music coming out of here. And the week before that was the Isley Brothers with their new music. There's a little new music from this guy, but not the whole group. The group has kind of disbanded. And today's earbuds is The Time, as in Morris Day and The Time. And I've been listening to Morris Day and The Time since I was very young. My stepdad really kind of put me onto it. And that's really, how I became cool. What taught me to be cool was, watching Morris Day and all his buddies, and me and some of my buddies when we were in the 8th and 9th grade, we used to dress up on Fridays in zoot suits and come to school, and we were The Time, which was dumb as shit, but we had a good time doing it. It was all right. People were receptive to it. So, but The Time has, for a long time, been a favorite band of mine. I think my absolute favorite band probably, though, is the SOS Band, which I probably will do something. They haven't come out with any new music, but even their old music I just love. But Morris Day and The Time, man, they played a very integral part in my life because, like I said, it was right when I was starting to get out and I was feeling myself and I was going out. And, I started listening to them when I was younger, but I kind of came into it, when I was, 21 and I was still listening to them. They had some my favorite album was What Time Is It? And that had The Walk on it, and Gigolos Get Lonely Too, and 777-9311, and all those good tracks. I absolutely just loved the whole album. But The Time was good. Ice Cream Castles was good. Pandemonium was okay, but I didn't really, I listened to some of the tracks, but it wasn't as good as the rest of them. But recently, Morris Day and Big Daddy Kane came out with a song, which I think that was on my earbuds one week, several weeks ago, that I actually featured Big Daddy Kane. But Morris Day and him, they got a new track out, which I thought was actually, pretty dope of both of them. So I'm a fan of both. So I'm glad that both of them are out, and there's a little bit of new music from Morris Day. But like I said, the rest of the band, I have no idea where they are. And I hope that, one day there'll be a reunion, because it'd be cool to see Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and, Jesse Johnson. And I forgot the white guy who played the keyboards, but that dude, the whole band was dope. Everybody was on point. And the thing about it is back in those days, there wasn't really a lot of drum machine work. These dudes was real musicians, actual musicians. They read music. They knew with all that shit, time signatures and all that shit. They just played the music. They played it. Simple as that. There are some people now that are starting to get back into actual musicality, having, real music played instead of just drum tracks, and I'm guilty. I make beats, so I'm always on some drum tracks. But I am starting to work with live elements because I like that live sound, that live music sound, and I can't front. Purple Rain, when I saw Purple Rain, me and my sister, we watched Purple Rain. So when you got it on VHS tape, we watched it so much that the words wore off the VHS tape, just straight off. It would be like talking like a Chinese kung fu movie. But we watched it and watched it and watched it and knew all the words, and everything. It was a great movie because of, you go back and look at the acting now, and of course it's a little hokey fanoky, but for the time and the day, it was incredible. It was a great movie, and the story is still really good, and there are still some really good parts in the movie that pertain to both Prince and Prince and the Revolution and Morris Day and the Time, which actually they're cousins, by the way. They were cousins, and I didn't really realize that till later on, but they're actually family. But, I've been listening to The Time for, forever. I probably always will. Hopefully, like I said, they'll come up with some new music in the future, and they won't keep us waiting. So that's this week's Earbuds, which is Morris Day and the Time. And all you young heads out there, man, if y'all probably won't do it, but if you into some older music, check it out, man. Morris Day and the Time. And the album I'll go ahead and suggest to you is What Time Is It? So that was the one that really kind of, started my cool career with, Wild and Loose was on it, all kind of, man, good album. Just get it. You can listen to it on YouTube, or you can download it from somewhere. I'm sure he's got it on his website someplace, but definitely go give it a listen. Morris Day and the Time is this week's Earbuds. This week I had, I went back to some of the strains. And I know I've done this already, but I'm going to do it again because that's what I got. And the strain of the week this week is, again, black tuna. That's right. Black tuna is the strain of the week. And it's a sativa. It's dope as shit. It's got to have some terpenes. And like I said, I was starting to learn about the terpenes, and I've been going into the dispensaries, and I've been asking the different clerks about the different terpenes, or the amount of terpenes that, a good strain should have. And the general consensus is that anything over 1.5 terpenes is decent. 1.7 is pretty good. 2 is dope. 3, then you start looking for your life someplace. But a lot of the stuff at the dispensaries, the terpenes are kind of low. So that's why, some things at this dispensary you feel a little bit, and then after a while it just feels like you don't feel anything. And, you start thinking, oh man, did I waste my money? And no, you didn't waste your money. It's just the terpenes are low. So what I've been doing is I've been going in, and it's a pain in the ass for the guys sometimes, but, I go in and ask, what's the terpene count on this? So that I know that, it's going to be worth it, because the last thing, and I'm sure we've all been there when we've spent our money, or, and we've got something and it just turned out to be trash, and it happens every now and then. But if you can, especially the thing I like about the dispensaries is that they actually have this information. Dude on the street, he ain't necessarily going to have this information. He's not going to be like, oh yeah, the terpenes are this now, because he don't know what they are. But the thing about, the strains that are being cultivated these days is that they are privy to that information, and it is available to us. So if, you are a medicinal marijuana patient, I invite you the next time you go into the dispensary to ask what the terpenes are, or any state where it's legal. Ask what the terpenes are. It can't hurt nothing. And I would say if it's below 1.5, take the hard pass. Anything above that, okay, get down. So that's what's going on. And I got the strain, just so you know, I got it from True Leaf. It's a True Leaf exclusive strain. So if you got a True Leaf close to you, go check it out. It's called Black Tuna, and it's one of my favorites. I think it was the very first strain of the week. And it has made the comeback because, like I said, it was what I got. I saw that it was available because it hadn't been available in a long time, and I finally saw some, so I decided to get some, and yep, it went ahead and confirmed all my suspicions about it being the dopest thing out there. It's pretty dope, so no pun intended. So I'm going to move on to the next thing, but first, I am going to oh, wait a minute. I did get something else. And you know what? This week, it's going to be two strains. Now, the black tuna, because it's one of my favorites. But I also got a hybrid called Space Riot. And it's also a true leaf strain. And it was pretty decent. The terpenes were, I got the ground flower, and usually the ground flower, the count is a little bit lower, but it was still pretty decent. It was upwards of, it was 1.5. It was right at 1.5 terpenes. So you feel it some, you do feel it, but, like I said, it was on the lower side of the terpene count, but just enough for it to be worth it. And, it was all right. I got 2/4 of it last week, I guess, and I still have one because, we've been little bitting it at a time, and plus there's been some other stuff that we've been mixing it with. But it's a good strain to mix with other strains, especially and that's what we do. We'll get an eighth of some buds, and then we'll turn around and get 1/4 of some decent ground flower, and we'll stretch everything out, and that's how it stays economical. And at the same time, I'm not really I'm not like heavy like I used to be, chief all day long. Now I really do kind of, go by what the prescription says. Every now and then I might take an extra one. It depends on, how I'm feeling. But, I do kind of go with what my prescription says the dosage should be. So, and you actually do get stuff. When you do it like that, you actually do get stuff out of it. You get a little more understanding as well. So today's or this week's strains of the week is Space Riot, and again, it is black tuna. And there you have it for the strain of the week. I'm gonna take a quick fast break here and go to the bathroom. And when I come back, we're gonna get back into what's popping this week. This is the Deron Harris Podcast.
Buy a breakfast if you give me a ride in the morning.
Sure.
How about an Egg McMuffin?
I love the Egg McMuffin.
Great.
Yeah, since they have that buy one, get one free deal.
Oh, you heard about that.
Share a McDonald's Egg McMuffin, Canadian bacon, fresh cracked egg, and American cheese. Right now, buy one Egg McMuffin and get one free.
So you'll get the coffee and hash browns too?
Sure.
Major credit cards accepted. Many McDonald's now open at 5 a.m. Prices and participation may vary. Limited time only. Price of required purchase posted on menu board.
Hey folks, welcome back to the podcast. Listen, if you were just tuning in to the podcast, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And you're the reason, you guys are the reason that I continue to do it. I'm on my 28th episode now, and I honestly didn't think I would make it past 2 or 3. So here I am at 28, and the reason I am here is because of you guys. And I really, really do, really do appreciate you for it. So continue to tune in. You can follow me on my social media. On Facebook, I am Deron, Deron, T as in Thomas, Harris, Harris. And on Instagram, I am Deron, Deron, my whole middle name, Terae, Harris, Harris, comedian. That is what my Instagram is. My Twitter is at Deron Harris, Deron Harris. And you can leave me a DM. You can DM me anytime you want if you have any subjects that you want me to cover, or something you want to talk about. DM me, let me know. I got a DM from a guy last week. Actually, I plan on probably sitting down with him and maybe having a more of a discussion about the subject that I had last week, which was about politics and religion. So I appreciate this gentleman for reaching out, and when I correspond with him and get with him, we'll probably I'll have him on my podcast. So, but all that aside, it's time to get to the meat and potatoes of what this week is about, which is slavery on the ballot in 5 U.S. states. That's right, slavery is on the ballot. Let me say it again. Slavery is on the ballot for 5 states in 2022. The states are Alabama, Louisiana, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont. Now, let me clarify it for you. The issue is this. When the 13th Amendment was passed, right, it abolished slavery, right? But it didn't abolish slavery. The only exception is if you're a felon or if you're in jail. And then it's okay. And the prisons are disproportionately, black and brown people. They don't call you a slave anymore. They call you a criminal. And that's what it is. And that's what makes it okay for the labor, the free labor, which is essentially slavery. You're kept in a cage. You're made to go work for nothing or peanuts. I think some states don't give you anything. Like Texas doesn't give you anything, but there are a few states that give you like 10 cents an hour. There's another couple of states that do like 50 cents or 60 cents an hour. Ridiculous. Now, I know a lot of people, oh, you committed a crime and you're in jail. Well, some people didn't commit that hard of a crime. Some people are in jail for dumb shit. Some people are in jail for nothing. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. But they still, there's innocent people in jail that have been in jail and will be in jail, and continuously innocent people are going to jail. Just to put that into perspective for everybody. It's not just criminals that are in jail. It's not just bad people are in jail. Jail is full of a lot of good people who got a bad break. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they want to do. In the United States Constitution, let me see if I can find it. I'm over here looking. They want to amend the 13th Amendment because in the 13th Amendment it says that's what it says, that you are free unless you are a criminal, and then it makes it okay. So what they want to do is they want to change the language. They're voting to change the language in the 13th Amendment to include everybody. Slavery is abolished for everyone. No criminals or nothing, so they can't, because really what's happening is a lot of these people are, criminals or not, they're being exploited in jail for people to make billions of dollars. Some of these companies are making billions with a B, billions of dollars off of, free labor of the inmates in jail. Crazy. That's real talk. That's real ass talk. This is actually happening. So there are, like I said, 5 states that are voting to change the narrative. They're voting to change the words. They're voting to change the words of the amendment so that they take out the fact unless you're a criminal. Like the efforts of the Constitution ban enslavement or involuntary servitude except as a form of criminal punishment. That exception has long been permitted, exploited, and just people done wrong because they got in trouble. And this is an effort to correct or fix that. And I hope it works. I really do. I hope nobody votes to keep that. That would just suck. And listen, just so you know, there's about 19 or 20 other states that still have this clause, that still have that. 19 or 20 other states that they've not gone back. Colorado was the first state, I think back in 2018, to remove that language from its framework. And then I think Nebraska and then Utah, they took it all the way out. They was like, slavery is illegal, period. Whether or not you're, a convicted felon or, Joe Schmo walking down the street, slavery in all essence, in every respect of the word, is abolished for real. But it was so crazy. It was so crazy that, think about it, folks. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, right? Yay, no more slavery. That's great. Unless you're a convicted felon. You know what I'm talking about? Just ridiculous, man. Just crazy how that loophole has made it this far. That is a straight up loophole that nobody really ever considered. We didn't read it, we didn't take it seriously until like now. If you guys want to do some more research or you want to know a little bit more about it, there is a documentary that I watched on Netflix. I forgot who it was by, but it was called The 13th. And really that's what it was, is it was about the abolition of the 13th Amendment. The abolition of slavery and the induction of the 13th Amendment. So if you can, I would wholeheartedly recommend checking that out because, man, it's crazy the way they do us, man. It's crazy the way that the country has done us in order to keep that free labor. And that's what it is, in order to continue to profit off of free labor. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of prisons that have quotas. They have to keep X amount of people in prison in order to receive funding. Like privatized, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's a business. It's a business that has been formed around legal slavery. There was a couple of companies. Victoria's Secret was one of them that was profiting from let's just say incarcerated people. Let's put it like that. Incarcerated people that worked for free. There was a bunch of companies, man, a bunch of companies. No, that's not the only one, And if you don't believe me, look it up. So I don't know, man. I think this is a wake-up call for everybody to get up off of your ass and go out and vote. Dead ass, y'all. Dead ass. Dead ass. And if you don't vote, I don't want to hear nobody talking about, this didn't happen to us and this ain't happened in my neighborhood, and because you didn't fucking go vote. Get your ass up. Put your little eyelashes on or whatever. Put your Jordans on or whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And take your ass down to the precinct and vote, man. Because not for nothing, motherfuckers is going to continue to run us over until we realize or recognize that voting is the way to change it. But our vote don't count. That shit don't mean nothing. It means everything. It means everything. All you little knuckleheads running around here, listen, they out to get you. They are out to get you. So stand your ass up and vote, man. Stand your ass up. Become informed. Get out there and check it out, man, because this shit is serious. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is voting, and don't look now. Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, they trying to run some sort of power move, man. Be careful out here. Because if one motherfucker showed you that he didn't give a shit about you, it was Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Don't give a fuck about me or my people. You know what I'm saying? Just don't. So, wake up, folks. Vote. And if you're in Georgia, don't vote for Herschel Walker, man. If you want to, do the brother a favor, man, because he is going to embarrass the shit out of himself. He's already embarrassing himself. He's embarrassing. He is embarrassing. And it's sad, man. It is very sad to sit there and watch. I used to look up to Herschel Walker. My brother actually played with him at the University of Georgia for a couple years. No bullshit. I actually used to look up to the dude. You know what I'm saying? Herschel Walker was that dude, and then just out of nowhere, became crazy and just fell off, just straight up fell off. You know what I'm saying? We got enough problems that face us on a regular basis. We don't need our own people trying to sabotage us also, Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Just sabotaging us, just putting us out there, not really caring about who we are as a people, but caring more about a political system that they think cares about them. Well, Mr. Walker, don't get it twisted, but I'll tell your ass straight like this. Don't fuck it up, because if you fuck up and go to jail, they're going to treat your ass just like they treat the rest of us in there. And it don't make a fuck that you Herschel Walker. That shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So be careful, Mr. Walker. You know, and hopefully one day I hope you and Yee and, you know, all the other people out there that just stand up in this bullshit, I hope one day y'all could shake it off and realize that, you know, realize who you are first. Realize what you are first before you start jumping on bandwagons of other bullshit. So, man, I really hope that these 5 states set a good example for the rest of the states, because I'll tell you what, anybody who votes not to remove that language, it just goes to show you how much, or how little actually, they care about us, or they care about another human life, because all it comes down to is cash money, y'all. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. That's right. That's what it's about. And it doesn't matter who they got to step on to get it. Doesn't matter. Don't let them step on you. I try to keep my nose clean. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go to jail, because I know in jail, that's where they want us anyway. I've been pulled over countless times, man. Pulled over countless times. You know, all they want is my fingerprints so they know who I am. All they want is my ID so they know who I am. Stopping me while I'm walking to the store because they've never seen me before and they just want to know who I am. That's happened to me a lot, man. Bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on it. You know, so folks, definitely pay attention. You know, pay attention. The midterms, y'all, the midterms. This is when we really start to make a difference, because all of these people that are out to hurt us, this is how we get them out. And I'm talking about, you know, all these old money and these old politicians, these old ideology politicians, and they want to continue the ideology. They want to keep it going. And they want to keep us oppressed. If they can keep shit the way that it is, they fine with that. They okay with that. But we cannot keep shit the way that it is, because like I said, there are more black people in jail than anybody. By a lot. So who do you think is doing all this free labor? Black folks. You know what I'm saying? Mostly, majorly, black folks. We in there doing all the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's some Latin dudes in there, but I tell you what, not even close to as many white people. You know, white people ain't in, they can't even hold a candle to how many black folks are in jail. And it's designed that way. Why do you think motherfuckers is going to jail for dime bags of weed and all kind of dumb shit like that? But again, shout out to Joe Biden for trying to make marijuana legal all the way across the country. You know, and that just gives them one less thing to hold us up on. You know what I'm saying? Just one less thing to try to catch us with. Because they, you know, that's all they're doing, right? They ride through the neighborhoods looking for somebody doing something that's out of the ordinary, looking kind of crazy, see a little bit of smoke in the air, and guess what they doing? They stop and pulling over. Hey, fellas, what's going on with you? That's all they want to know. They just want to know what's going on with you. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's all they want to know. They don't care about you. They don't care about your neighborhood. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about if you go to school or not. They don't give a fuck if you eat. They don't care about you. They just want to know what you're doing so that they can catch you, so they can lock your ass up. because that's money for them, especially the private prisons. It's money for them. So listen, I'm gonna make a call to action right now. Everybody, listen. Anybody who's listened to my podcast, why don't you guys do me a favor? Try to do, not even me, man. Do yourselves a favor. Try an air of legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? Try and get it legitimately, and then that way they can't say shit to you. They can't say nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? And I can't front though. There's been more and more brothers and sisters, also, people of color, Latins, Chinese, everybody, Asians, everybody is starting to come up a little bit. Everybody's starting to come up and realize that we don't have to be, second and third class citizens. We don't have to be that. We first class citizens just like everybody else around the world. You know what I'm saying? Just like the rest of them around the world. We first class too. We got to get that. We got to understand that. Not only that, we have to internalize that and we have to project that. You know what I'm saying? We have to project the air of confidence, the air of stability, because right now our whole society looks unstable, and that's why it's easy for them to come in the hood and pick us off. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's easy for them to come in the hood and shoot us down. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for them. So stop making shit easy for them, man. When somebody pull you over, yes, sir. No, sir. What you been up to? Church. You know what I'm saying? I went to the PTA meeting. What? You know what I'm saying? Stop looking for lascivious shit to get into to get your ass in trouble, man. You got cats out here carjacking people, man. That's just gonna put you in a position when they catch your ass, to put you in a position where you can't do nothing about it. And then you're gonna get on the inside, and then you mad at everybody in there except for the people you should be mad at, which is A, yourself, and B, the system that's putting you back there. The brother that's in there just in there relax. He ain't your enemy, dude. It's what they do to us that turns us into enemies. Especially when we on the inside. We get on the inside. You know what I mean? Some people they form little cliques, but some people, they get lost in the shuffle. They slip through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? Shit is wild. So, folks, please, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here, but vote, man. That's really what the moral of the story is get your ass out there and vote, man. That's all. That's the only way we could fix this, because if we don't vote, it continues on. You know what I'm saying? If we don't vote, we just get weaker. We don't understand. The more we vote, the stronger we become. And that's what we need. We need strength. We need strength and unity, because right now we are not unified. As a people, I'm saying. We are not unified as a people and have not been for quite some time, and it was made that way by design. Crazy business. I mean, I'm from New York. So on a corner, just about every corner in New York City, there's a store, like a little deli. I've only seen in all of New York City, I've seen 3 black-owned stores. The rest are either owned by Latins, Asians, or Arabs, or white folks in the city. If it's some sort of gourmet deli, but it's usually Latins, Asians, or Arabs. And we don't form shit like that. We don't get together, man. We don't get together and do shit like that. We don't support each other as a people, man. And that's why it's so easy for them to pick us off and put us where they want us, which is in the clink. So I'm telling you, man, I'm pleading with everybody out there who is listening to my podcast. Please, please, please go out and vote. Look at the ballot, see what's on it, see what people are opposing, the things that are beneficial to us, and vote against their ass. Period. It's time to get all these old politicians out of office. I want to see some new young people, man. I want to see some young people. I want to see some. I'm tired of seeing 80-year-old congressmen, 80-year-old senators. I'm sick of that because they still have 80-year-old mentality. You know what I'm saying? They still got that 80-year-old mentality, and they will put your ass in jail in a heartbeat. And when you go to jail, until every state follow suit until every state follows suit with this. You could go to jail someplace, and then the next thing you know, you in here, making license plates for nothing on some free labor. And here's, making clothes for nothing on some free labor. Slavery. Don't be a slave, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't be. Wake the fuck up, man. Start waking up. The end all and be all ain't dunking basketballs or rapping or none of that shit, man. Selling drugs, all that shit. It's good. Some of the stuff is good to aspire towards, but come on, man. We got to be deeper than that, man. We have to be deeper than that. We have to look at other things, like they're viable instead of just looking at either some sort of sports or some sort of music. Although I get it. We talented. I get it. And I'm in that boat too. But I'm also trying to do some other things. I'm also trying to make myself deeper. And I think that's where we all need to get to. We need to get deep within ourselves. We need to turn in on ourselves for just a little while, just a little while, so that we could get our shit back to where it's popping. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop trying to hold each other down. That's one of the reasons I really don't like Atlanta. You go to Atlanta, you got regular black folks, and then you got bougie black folks that think that they better than everybody, man. And I just don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Help your people. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get a little bit of money, you think you them. You know what I'm saying? You leave your people behind. You don't help them. That's one of the reasons I hate going there, because they so quick to tell you, you ain't shit, you ain't got shit, I'm better than you, so on and so forth. And that is not the way to do it. That is not the way to succeed. That is not the way to catapult our culture to the forefront. We get a little bit of movies, we got, the Black Panther movie, everybody stand up. Yeah, we got Woman King. Yeah, but after a while, that shit go right the fuck back down, and we go right back to doing the shit that we was doing, which was nothing. So, start doing something, folks. Start doing some shit. Start looking at the newspaper. Start checking to see who's running for office in your area. Check to see what they running for. The platforms they running on. Check that shit. See if it benefits you or see if it doesn't benefit you. Because when you think shit don't affect you, watch out, because yes, it does. Every time some little community center in the hood closes, guess why? Because somebody voted something that made that shit happen. So, we need to get ourselves back. We need to get ourselves back. We need to take ourselves back from this incarceration bullshit, from this incarceration and this forced slavery. We need to take ourselves out of it. We need to remove ourselves from it and put ourselves in better positions. So I think that's going to do it for what's popping this week. I'm going to take another break, and when I come back, RV Life with the Wife. You are listening again to the Deron Harris Podcast. Hey folks, today's program is being brought to you by Your Pleasures Erotic Health and Wellness Boutique. Your Pleasures has a wide variety of adult educational materials, top-notch adult novelties and clothing, real-world dating and relationship advice, and more. Pleasures, that's Your Pleasures, not only focuses on erotic pleasure and satisfaction, we aim to educate people about the health and wellness benefits of intimacy. We are here to prove that sexuality is not naughty, it's necessary. So stop by Your Pleasures, that's ur-pleasures.com, and see for yourself. That's yourpleasures.com. Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Deron Harris Podcast. Yeah, that's it. I hope that what I was just talking about, everybody can relate to, or everybody. If you have any questions or anything like that, or you got some insight that I don't have, please feel free to drop it in my inbox. I'll have a discussion with anybody about anything. So, please feel free to drop it in my inbox. So, what's happening this week with RV Life with the Wife, or relationship goals? This week is about getting it in. In the RV, we've been getting it in, man. Me and my girl been getting it in, and it's just like every place else. You know what I mean? It's some places a little tighter, like the shower's a little tight, but everything else is everything, man. You know, I mean, you know, sometimes in certain occasions it's even better, you know, because there's this air of we can go anywhere we want. I mean, we've gone to places where it's just been absolutely secluded, and yeah, hey, how about this? And it's a lot of fun, and our sex life has been really good. I mean, it's always been good, but it's been really good, you know, as of, you know, the past little while, because a lot of our stress has been removed because of the RV. I mean, we still have some of it, but a lot of the stress has been removed, and things are, you know, constantly getting better. You know, so we've been definitely more relaxed around each other, more playful with each other, just all around, you know, having a good time with each other. You know what I mean? You know, and that goes far beyond, you know, sex. You know, we laugh uncontrollably about most things. We find the humor in everything, and at the same time, we still find very tender moments to kind of, you know, to get into each other. And that's that right there, to me, folks, is the key to the whole thing, man, is getting into each other. Get into your person. You know what I'm saying? Get into your person. And it makes all that so easy. Like my wife, man, I'll tell you what, a lot of people's like, well, when you get married, you know, your sex life dries right up. Not mine. It is the opposite. You know what I'm saying? It is quite the opposite. And, you know, I have no reason to believe that it's going to change anytime soon, to which I'm grateful for. So, yeah. So if anybody's wondering about, you know, if you have an RV, you're wondering how, or you're thinking about getting an RV and you're wondering how, you know, the intimate life goes, I will say it's actually pretty cool. And I can't wait to get someplace where there's nobody so we could do it outside or on top of the RV. That's what I want to do. I keep trying to get her on top of the RV, but she keep thinking she's going to fall off it. But yeah, so I think that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Deron Harris Podcast. Takeaways from today. I mean, really what it is, keep your nose clean, man. Just keep your shit straight. You know, keep yourself out of harm's way. You know, because the more you can stay out of harm's way, the better it is for you. So, God bless you all. I want to thank everybody for tuning in like I do every week. I want to thank my wife for being the great woman that she is, my best friend Jay Yandel for encouraging me and producing my program, and also my producer Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform on the podcast playground to share my thoughts with everybody. So, love you all. You can reach out to me on my social media. On my Facebook, it's DERONT as in Thomas, HARRIS. Instagram is DERONTERAEHARRIS, comedian. And Twitter is at Deron Harris. Wow. Thanks, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please, please, please join me next week. Not exactly sure what I'll be talking about again, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. So thank you again. And also, folks, I got a label mate out there. If you're listening to my podcast, you should slide over and listen to this guy too. His name is Soul Brother Kevin, or SBK. And he is also on our platform. You could probably just scroll through and find him. Listen to my man's podcast. He is absolutely hilarious. Dude is hilarious, and not for nothing, he is super real about it too. So definitely go visit with my man SBK. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. My name is Deron Harris. Thank you for tuning in to the Deron Harris Podcast, and I will see you guys next week.